Go. So we always start with a tapping on the side of the pinky under or on the side of the hand, just under the bottom line at the base of the pinky. That's called the karate chop point. So we are going to repeat something 3 times. And what I usually do with people is I'll say it 3 different ways, just to give you different ideas of how to articulate the beginning point. But you can find a statement you like and just say it 3 times in a row exactly the same way. It's up to you. So here we go. How about even though I look back at that and feel so much sorrow and regret. So you're saying it when I'm silent and you're still tapping and breathing when I'm talking. I deeply love and completely accept myself. Even though I go over that episode and I just feel bad because of the regret. I love myself. And I choose to accept where I am in my human journey. Even though it's possible for me to look back at that and get consumed with regret and obliterate all the good that was there. Right now, I accept myself and my journey. Right now, I choose to love myself. Okay, so we never go back to the karate chop point. That's done. That's the setup. We start at the crown. You can tap with fingers or patting, and you can double tap or single tap. So it's up to you. Usually you tap with dominant hand. I know this feeling of regret so well. We're going to tap all the stuff as it is and as it feels bad. Tapping on the inner brow, the bone there. It feels really bad and hard to look back and regret. Outer eye. It makes me feel bad about my experiences. Upper cheekbone under the eye. Again, you can double tap if that feels better. I don't like how it makes me devalue what was actually super valuable in my experience. Hot flash. Okay, so now we're shifting to under the nose, upper lip, and you can kind of tighten that skin there so that you feel a nice solid tap. It's up to you. And I really feel so bad about myself when I'm in this regret. I condemn myself. I get hyper focused on what I did wrong. Okay, then we go to the chin point. That's actually the groove between lower lip and chin. These 2 points are single hand tapping. If you like the double hand feel. It can make me start to project a bad future when I go over what I regret about my past. Like somehow that past thing and what I did wrong or missed is evidence that I won't get it right later. Okay, let's move to the point under the clavicle. So the whole clavicle is in a round and you're tapping right under the round of the inner clavicle. Again, that can be a very nice two-pointed tapping. I can argue for limitations based on what I regret in the past. I can just declare that I've missed the boat on something important to me. It's not available to me in the future. The door that got shut isn't going to open further down the corridor or in some other form. Or even I'm categorically unable to do X, Y, or Z. Or I now officially don't deserve whatever it is. Right now, I call that out. Okay, now the next point, you lift an arm, and it's sometimes called the bra strap point, but basically at the base of the armpit, you're going to place your hand, and then where it lands on the side of the ribs is where you're tapping. And now you see why it's called the bra strap point. So we tap there and get our arm out of the way and display our tattoos. Or not. And when you're doing a two-sided tapping, you cross your arms and then you tap. So your arms are crossed in front and you're tapping each side with opposite hands. All right, but I'm over here with one. Right now, I don't want to buy into the truth or treat that as truth. The limited beliefs I create from my regret are not real. And I create limitations just by believing that they are, by focusing on that, by ruminating on that, by choosing or not choosing from those limitations. Okay, so now we're back at the crown. We just did a full circle and we're going to shift to reaching for better feeling thoughts. So at the crown, wherever you want to tap that, I'd like to stop limiting myself. And I've already got some practice. It's not like self-limiting is my whole story. Inner eyebrow. And all the regrets I have for decent, valid reasons. They also don't tell the full story. Okay, let's go to the outer eye. So you're on the bone. I don't think I said that before. I'd like to visit regret more consciously. I don't want to invalidate it. Under the eye. And I want to be sweet to my past self, my wounded self, my regretful self, my disappointed self. I'd like to give them kindness. Okay, under the nose, upper lip. I'd like to visit my regret consciously and be willing to grieve if that wants to happen. Chin point. And I'd like to soothe the grief. Breathe it. I'm breathing it right now. I'm letting the breath be a soothing ointment, a balm. Clavicle round. And I want to accept that I'm on a human journey. Human beings have regrets. Why should I be exempt? And I'd like to be okay with the regrets that are part of my story. Mine. There they are. Human being. Okay, side of the ribs under the arm. And I'd like part of being with regrets to be that I walk away from the regretful part of the story. And consciously call back the genuinely beautiful parts, the kind of cool parts, the amazing parts, the brilliant parts, the lessons learned, even from the part I regretted. Crown. I'm willing to learn those lessons. I'm willing to do it differently. Inner eyebrow. I'm willing to find helpers and guides, good books, processes, healing tools and events, and just the amazing ahas, insights, pure moments of knowing just waking up inside me that can come to me with seemingly no help at all. Outer eye. I want to honor my guidance system to keep benefiting from every experience and all of its so-called good and bad parts, or wanted and unwanted aspects. And let those evolve and expand me. Under the eye. and trust myself to get the right lessons in time. And trust myself to keep going and course correct as I go. Under the nose. I even want my permission and acceptance of making the same mistakes again. I'm willing to repeat mistakes. Chin points. I've done it with math. I've done it with bicycle riding. I've done it with managing money. I can do that anywhere in life. I can get okay with repeating mistakes. Clavicle round. I'd like to be so comfortable with that. In fact, so clear that that's how it works. That I just don't fault myself at all. Side of the ribs. But I probably will fault myself. So I'd like to get really good at interrupting that. Catching it quickly that I'm making myself wrong. Scolding myself. Reviewing something again, like the annoying teacher. My annoying inner teacher. I'd like to interrupt all that. Crown point. And I can walk myself back to accepting the journey, the human journey, that we revisit stuff. And we not only get it wrong again, we build muscles, we have new insights, we deepen those insights, we get more nuanced in our insights, we get stronger, we get more resilient, we get more clear. We really come to understand what we do and don't want. I'm saying we because I'm part of this human race. I'm no different. Those could all be I statements. I'm on this journey. Inner eyebrow. Outer eyebrow. I'm doing fine. Under the eye, upper cheekbone. Of course I have regrets. Under the nose. I also have amazing memories. And chin point. I've been brave and radical sometimes. Brilliant and beautiful. I've done interesting stuff. I've taken risks. Under the clavicle. And I refuse to teach myself not to take risks. Because that's what I do when I just gather regrets and make my life wrong. Under the arm. I love my journey, and I look forward to what else I get to do on it. And I'm willing to go through painful stuff and get things wrong and get things right and have fun and gather a list of cool things that I've done over time. We end on the crown, and I'm going to walk myself through kindly. And when I'm not being kind to myself, I'm going to get better and better at interrupting that and aiming for what feels better and kinder. Okay, now here's the part where you drop your hands down. I like to cup one on top of the other, just kind of rest them on your lap or wherever. And just breathe. Feel your grounding. Usually, this practice makes you feel more grounded than when you began. Just feel how much you're in your body. Feel the breath. Kind of follow the breath and really experience it's usually fuller, maybe slower. And then feel the literal reverberations of the tapping. There's like a vibration still happening in your system. See if you can notice what feels good about that. And just notice whatever you notice as you keep breathing from this grounded place. For people who like data, what you can do before the tapping is kind of rank or rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how bad you feel about this. Maybe you're at a 10, just in deep despair about it. At a 6, yeah, just thinking about it, it just feels bad. At a 3, yeah, it's a thing and I don't like it. Whatever. And then after the tapping is the number lower. Give it a rating. You can notice the difference, the contrast. So last thing I want to say while you stay with your eyes closed and breathing. Sometimes there was something said during the tapping, whether someone else was guiding you through or you're doing it on your own. It could happen on your own. But the reach is a little too far or the thing is a little too unsure or unknown. You don't quite believe it enough. It didn't land gently and in a flowing way. It landed with a blip or a hiccup. It just kind of created a blockage, a lump, something that felt bad. So you just note that. Like that thing about welcoming myself to the human race, I really don't believe that. I actually think I should be doing better than other humans or whatever. And then you can write that down if you want afterwards and come back to it through some other process or tapping. Or you can go right into the next tapping session based on the thing that felt off. And for now, we are complete.